Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
NAD, whether you're taking a supplement or injecting a peptide, it is going viral. But what if the very supplements you are taking to boost your NAD could be the wrong move in the wrong situation? Well, a new 2026 study is raising serious questions about the popular NAD precursors, NMN, NR, and nicotinamide, especially in the settings of pancreatic cancer and chemotherapy. And this changes the conversation. Welcome to Accelerated Health with Sara Banta, the podcast where we get to what works. I'm Sara, certified nutritionist, founder of Accelerated Health Products, cutting through the noise, bringing you real strategies, powerful supplements, and natural health solutions that actually work. So let's jump in. Today, we're talking about how to increase NAD naturally, possibly without the NMN or NR, because of the controversy. Most people are not searching for NAD support because they want to understand chemistry. They probably don't even know what it does, but they're searching for it because they're exhausted. They have brain fog. They feel older than they should, gaining fat more easily, losing muscle more quickly, recovering slower, and the motivation is gone. So yes, NAD matters. NAD matters for longevity, but here's where the conversation gets more interesting. A new paper reported that the vitamin B3 derived NAD precursors that I mentioned helped pancreatic cancer cells survive chemotherapy in preclinical models by increasing the energy production, reducing oxidative stress, and limiting cell death. Now, this does not mean that those supplements are automatically bad for everybody, but it does mean that we should have a conversation. And from my practitionerial perspective, this is my takeaway. Pushing a pathway harder is not always the same as restoring your health. Sometimes the smarter move is to support the systems that actually make NAD naturally, right? We want our bodies to be the miracle. We want our bodies to know how to recycle NAD efficiently and preserve the NAD instead of wasting it. And this is where I prefer to begin. So when we try to fix it naturally, then you might be addressing that low morning energy, the brain fog, poor stress tolerance, your metabolism that slowed down, muscle loss, the recovery, the flat mood. We want to get to the root of the problem. And maybe with the root of the problem being corrected, NAD is going to come up naturally. So these symptoms are often pointing to a deeper issue upstream. Low metabolic pace, liver issues, mitochondria issues, and you don't have the raw materials to rebuild the body. So instead of forcing the body with a precursor, I first look at the systems that help the body create the energy on its own, and then you feel great. So instead of reaching for these controversial supplements, I like to support NAD naturally. I look at the thyroid, the liver, mitochondria, and the amino acids. So I always start with iodine. Accelerate iodine. Now, why would you use this? Well, if you are feeling slow, cold, puffy, you have the water retention, you're mentally dull, the brain fog, metabolically flat, unexplained weight gain, I want to think about thyroid-driven metabolic pace, and iodine is that number one supplement for it. It supports thyroid hormone production. Thyroid hormones help regulate how efficiently the body burns fuel, and if metabolism is sluggish, NAD turnover is often sluggish too. It actually helps your body increase its own NAD. So there you go, right there, and then you feel great. And then you want to address, right? I always look at the thyroid and the liver. And the liver is where everything happens. And if everything's sluggish in the liver, you're not going to be able to produce your own NAD. You're also not going to be able to handle those peptides or those other precursors, because that all processes in the liver. So this is where I look at accelerated liver care. And if you are feeling heavy, inflamed, puffy, sluggish after meals, hormones are backed up and you can't lose weight, those are signs your liver needs some love. It's the central to nutrient handling, detoxing, bioflow, hormone clearance, redox balance. And if the liver is overloaded, the body tends to burn through energy less efficiently and preserve that NAD less effectively. So the accelerated liver care supports the terrain where the metabolic energy is made, managed, and conserved. So instead of just throwing another supplement at you, clean the terrain so it can actually do the job. This matters. And when sometimes the body does not need more stimulation, it just needs that internal traffic cleared so energy can move again. Number 3 is accelerated methylene blue. So this is great for people who have a brain that feels tired. You can't think clearly. You feel flat. You're functioning but not sharp. I love taking this. I put it in my coffee. But methylene blue is not an NAD precursor. But what makes it interesting is it helps support mitochondrial electron flow, which helps the cells regenerate NAD from NADH more efficiently. So instead of forcing more precursor into the system, you're helping support the actual energy cycle itself. Very different strategy. Number 4, accelerated aminos. So if you are losing muscle, not recovering well, you're getting softer, you feel depleted after you work out, less resilient, you might not need NAD, you might need the raw materials to make that NAD. And accelerated aminos provides all 9 essential amino acids, including tryptophan, which is one of the body's raw materials for making NAD naturally. So if you're throwing a precursor supplement that we're talking about into the body, but you don't have the raw materials, it doesn't work. So this supplement also helps with recovery, lean muscle, metabolic resilience. And guess what? The more muscle, the more mitochondria you have, the more ATP you have, the more engines you have to make NAD. You have the body, the raw materials to rebuild and produce that energy. So bottom line, the new research is very important. And this is something I've been talking about. And if you look back on my website, you'll see some articles about NAD. You'll see some articles on supplements that might backfire, NAD being one of them. This is a big lesson. If you want to support NAD naturally, start by supporting the systems that help the body make, regenerate, and preserve NAD on its own. And by the way, the study's pointing out the ability to make the cancer cells grow, right, with these supplements. The supplements I just mentioned actually do the opposite and help prevent disease cells. It helps increase autophagy. It helps the body target those diseased or cancer cells and say, hey, I see you. I'm going to take care of you. Very different. This means you want to be looking at that metabolic pace, the thyroid, the liver function, the mitochondrial electron flow, the amino acid status. And that is the more foundational way to rebuild real energy. Believe me, I love peptides. I love the future of what it's going to be doing, but you have to look at these and wrapper them in with clean liver, a functioning thyroid, and you also have to address the histamine response. And I go into that in a lot of the other podcasts when we're talking about peptides in general. Thanks for tuning in. Before you leave, let me know what sparked a question. Are you taking these supplements? Have you been diving into NAD? Did something hit home? Leave a comment below. And if you haven't joined the free group coaching on Telegram, do so today. It's a place where your questions are answered. You're a part of an amazing supportive community, and it's free. For all of my articles, my free group coaching supplements mentioned, you can head to SaraBantaHealth.com or acceleratedhealthproducts.com. Don't forget to use coupon code podcast10 on your first order. And most of you listen every week, but you haven't subscribed. Click that button below so you're notified when every new podcast is released. You can find all of them on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, E360, iHeartRadio, Roku, Amazon, and over 100 other different podcast platforms. I drop a new episode every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Join me next time for more ways to unlock your health potential.